Hello and welcome to the Halftime Report, part of Bear Football here on the Barroom Network. John Buffone alongside Tyler Gaines Ellis. The Bears trailing the 49ers 7-0 at halftime. Weird first half, weird opening half of the season. The weather is ridiculous, lots of rain. Not a lot of production out of the offense, either offense really, but more so the Chicago Bears. Tyler, if you had one takeaway out of the first half, what would you say?
We in a dogfight. My first take is we're in a dogfight. And we're in a boxing match. We're trying to find ourselves, John, especially from an offensive standpoint. And but this is the NFL. You got to be able to pull it together. At the end of the day, I haven't blown my top yet, John. I'm like, as long as we win the game, I'll be all right. We got to find a way to win ugly. We got to find a way to get rhythm on offense.
Yeah, the defense so far pulling its weight, looking pretty sharp. I know they getting a lot of pressure on Trey Lance. How about at the end of the half, the Bears look like they're trying to get some points on the board, and they get flagged for bringing a towel onto the field because they were Gill was trying to kind of dry out the area where they were going to be kicking off of. A towel?
How was that illegal?
I mean, I guess you can't improve the area you're kicking off of. I don't know the rule. I'm not that rules expert of all that stuff. But just when you think that it can't get any stranger, something else can't go against the Bears, you get flagged for a towel on the field. So they have had some flashes on defense. Jaquan Brisker, who I talked about all week, I think that he was going to make a big play. He did. He stepped up and they recovered the fumble. You see a lot of the DBs doing the old peanut punch. And here's that play right there. Actually,
Lance in trouble and sacked.
That's actually the Robinson sack. And to be honest, they've put a lot of pressure on Trey Lance. It's not like he's been lighting it up. And here, as you see that sack again, but if you look over the first half stats, Lance is I believe he's 6 of 10 for 70 yards. Now that is not great, but whenever you go to Justin Fields, he's 3 for 9 for 19 and a pick. So both of these young quarterbacks are going through a lot of growing pains. The offensive line has been a bit porous. Justin has been running for his life a little bit, but on that interception he threw, I'm not sure exactly where he was going. That was just a bad throw. I'm not sure what he saw. I maybe need another angle to see what he saw, but overall, struggling. You can chalk some of that up to the conditions. I know it's bad out there. That new Bermuda grass is certainly getting tested in the first week of the season, but there has been some struggle.
Hey, John, I just want to say real quick, bro, it's good to be back, bro. I know it's halftime and we got a little bit of time, but like, yo, shout out to everybody in the freaking chat showing love. We are so freaking happy to be back with you guys for another freaking epic season. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be here to talk about it. And John, I was listening to you, and I'm like, yo, it's just so good to see you, bro. And I'm like, damn, we in a dogfight, but like, yo, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, and so what do they got to do in the second half? Because there wasn't a whole lot clicking. I don't think there was one. If I remember correctly, there wasn't one completed pass to a wide receiver in the first half. Yeah. So what's gonna happen?
For me, John, what we have. The reason why we believe in Justin Fields, when you're a first-round talent, means you are an exceptional generational talent sometimes. And sometimes we need players that operate outside the playbook. And I'm going to go ahead and reference Donovan McNabb. When things break down, what are you going to do to move the team forward? That's what we saw late in the half. Justin Fields for that run up the middle. That was him saying, you know what? I'm sick of leaving this to chance. We need to get a freaking first down. And so if we can just build on those small things of like, hey, they're obviously trying to shut down David Montgomery. Justin, it's all on you, bro. Like they're keyed in on David Montgomery's ankles. We got to make a play, John. We need to just tighten up, play some football, punch somebody in the mouth, and move the ball forward. But we got to find a way to stay efficient and not make mistakes.
Yeah, something's got to change. Khalil Herbert, 5 carries for 27. David Montgomery, 9 carries for 13. Justin Fields, 5 for 25. But once again, if you look at the receiving, there's only 3 receptions. 2 of them go to David Montgomery. The other one go to Khalil Herbert. That ain't going to win you a game. They got to be able to push the ball down the field a little bit. There were a few times where Cole Kmet looked like he might have been open and Justin Fields didn't see him there. There's just I don't know what to do different. And quite frankly, I'm not going to get into the same, talking points as last year, because this is certainly not a Matt Nagy offense. But right now they can't do anything, and you can only say it's the weather for so much. You can't say, oh, the weather. Listen, I know the elements are kind of crappy right now. Maybe that'll change when they go to Arlington Heights and they're playing in a dome, but it's 2022 and they're still at Soldier Field and they got a game they're playing right now. So right. I don't know what exactly has to change. I'm not an offensive maven. It's not exactly right. what I specialize in, but Luke Getsy needs to figure it out, because right now they're getting their quarterback chased after quite a bit. And on that, one thing that I'm not gonna harp on the defense too much, because they're keeping them in the game. At the goal line though, when Debo absolutely pancaked Eddie Jackson, I hate seeing that. I hate seeing a wide receiver like that just fly over your free. Here it is right now for everyone watching on YouTube. I hate that. And roll that back again. I want to see that again, because I know Debo is an absolute beast, but man, I'm not. He didn't have Eddie Jackson just trying to shoulder tackle him.
And Eddie Jackson got a contract thing coming up. Like that is not good footage. That is not good footage.
I want to know, like he's running after him, and then he's just like, I'm gonna throw my shoulder in him. This is Debo Samuel. You're gonna have to hit him hard. You're gonna have to get him to the ground. You're at the goal line. You got to knock him backwards, and you're just gonna throw your shoulder into him, and then you get pancaked. I mean, that's bad. And once again, I'm not that's the one of the few things that I can nitpick about the defense so far, because without them, this is without that turnover, without some of the other getting off the field, this could be a 21-0 ball game right now. This is a great point I see by Alien Films here, is that we didn't see a whole lot of adjustments last year out of the Chicago Bears at halftime. This will be interesting to see what kind of adjustments they actually can and will implement going into the second half, because they're not running the ball well. They're clearly not passing the ball well. This is bad. Who do you think needs to step up in the second half?
I mean, step up. I mean, it's going to have to be a collective effort. It's bad conditions. Wide receivers going to have to catch the ball, period, in the story. But honestly, John, I feel like Justin needs to settle down. I feel like he's a little antsy, in my opinion. I need him to settle down a little bit and see some things through. Also, the offensive line. I mean, we had St. Patrick and Jenkins coming in and out, and so they got him some time in there at right guard. And so, if the line can continue to settle down and Justin to make some plays downfield, that's what has to happen. Like, it's not about what we think Ferry does need to happen. No, we need to throw the freaking football to a wide receiver, or they'll be held to pay. In the press conference, because the media, like Mike North said this morning, the media isn't affected by the weather. They're in full conditions, ready to write down what we do and do not do. And so, man, we need to get Darnell Mooney some passes in the flat like they were doing for Debo. The same plays for Debo is what we should have been doing for Darnell Mooney, in my opinion. And so, just to get him acclimated, John. So, there's so small things. Defense is holding his own, but you already know, man. It's like bend until you break. What happens when we break? Like before that happens, we got to get some points on the board.
Yeah, and if you look at the halftime stats, let's not get it twisted. It's still only a one touchdown ball game, but if you look at the halftime stats, they're relatively similar. I mean, first down, Chicago has 7, San Francisco has 11. A little bit of a discrepancy there, but third down efficiency, San Francisco's 2 for 6, Chicago's 2 for 8. The Bears have allowed 2 sacks, San Francisco's given up 1, and then you look at basically down the board. If you look at total yards, this is where the big discrepancy is. San Francisco has 179 total yards. The Bears have 68. The 49ers have 64 passing yards. The Bears have 3. Rushing yards, 115 to 65. So it's there. If you look at the collectiveness of the offense, yeah, San Francisco's way ahead. But listen, one touchdown ball game. There's the fact that it's this close means they have a chance. They have a chance.
Yes.
The fact is they're within a touchdown. There's a chance to get back in. Now, I think this first drive of the third quarter is going to be pretty important, because San Francisco gets the ball. And so we'll see. Let's see if the Bears defense can get off the field and maybe put the offense in a position, because the offense is going to need some breaks. The offense is going to need something to happen.
As we clear it, John, like I'm freaking jacked, because the 49ers are a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. This is the team going for the Super Bowl. Even though I'm a little down right now how we look because I have high expectations for my team. Yo, we're going against a team that's expected to compete for the division and go to the Super Bowl. And we are actually holding our own. If this is the fight, we're in the fight. We were no. Like Trey is not comfortable right now, John. Trey is not comfortable, and they drive it, and we shut them down. 7 points. That was in the red zone forever. It took them forever to get that. They was punting the ball too. And so we are in there. We just figuring stuff out. So I'm kind of jacked. And so now, which like you just said, was huge halftime adjustments. Bill Belichick, one-on-one. It's all about the adjustments. Can we score, bro, like you said? But we're hanging in there with a team expected to compete for a Super Bowl. Like, let that sink in. Dogfight, and that's super. What's up?
Yeah, and you can see how much of a safety blanket someone like Deebo Samuel can be to a young quarterback. You can see how they utilize him both running the football and some of those short screens and just getting him the ball quickly. That can be your best friend as a young quarterback. We're trying to figure out who that can be for Justin Fields. I mean, it's right now we're just not sure about that. You would hope that Velus Jones eventually becomes that, but that's not going to happen in this game, obviously. So I think that this is the thing about this year's Chicago Bears. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of things that we don't know that we're going to know. Maybe a quarter of the way into the season, maybe a halfway into the season, maybe not to the end of the season. But this is an exploratory year for Ryan Poles to see who stays and who goes and what needs to be addressed whenever they are flush with cash and free agency next year. I'm not trying to get too deep into 2023 right now because it's halftime of the first game of 2022. But I think that this is going to be these are going to be beacons for the general manager to see, oh, this definitely needs addressed or this absolutely needs to change. And I think the biggest microscope is going to be on that young quarterback, on Justin Fields, to see how he's going to adapt to the personnel around him. Unfortunately, is what he might have to do this year. You hope to see the ball get out a little bit quicker. I think that he does hold on to the ball a little bit too long. Maybe he's not going through the reads quick enough, but you're really hoping that this is just the first step in that progression. I hate to keep saying, oh, well, a couple of weeks, it might be fixed. Oh, a couple of weeks, it might be better. It might be. I don't want to keep harping on that because everyone wants to see results. Everybody wants to see the fruit of the labor eventually. So somebody has to make a play. And it looks like we are into the second half already. So we're going to have to sign off here. We'll be right back. After the game, Tyler Ellis and I will be joined by Danny Shimon. He's going to give us a good breakdown of this game. You've been watching the Halftime Report here on the Barroom Network. We'll see you after the game, everybody.